You hear a scary story?
Please, I love them.
Have you ever heard of the Dyatlov Pass?
Dyatlov?
Dyatlov.
No, Dyatlov. No, I have not.
Dyatlov Pass. It was a story in 1959. Okay. These 9 hikers from Russia went on a hiking expedition through the Siberian wilderness.
Siberia is on top of Russia?
It's next to.
Okay.
Next up. Yeah. It's a region of Russia now.
It's their Alabama.
Yeah. Or
in
North
conjunction
Dakota.
to us.
Yeah.
No.
It's their Alaska.
If Russia is Florida.
No.
This is so funny you said this. I literally watched a music video.
If this is Moscow
yesterday,
Siberia is up here.
Russian singing Sweet Home Alabama.
So it'd be like
New
at
York.
a conference. I will show you right after this. At the conference, they showed a clip of Russian singing Sweet Home Alabama. It was the wildest
Invisible
thing.
thread.
I know.
But this hike, it was a group of 9 kids, really. They're like in their 20s and stuff, college students.
Yeah.
And went on this hike, this long trek. It was supposed to be like 6 months or something that they were doing, like research and like all this stuff.
So they're students?
Yeah, students of the universities and stuff.
Okay.
And they were taking pictures, documenting, journaling. Anytime they could, they would write a letter back home and stuff to let them know where they're at, to their families and whatnot. And then one day, letters stopped coming in. Didn't hear from them for a while. So they went out there, and I think it took them like 2 weeks or so to find them. What they found has led to investigation after investigation. Even to this day, people are still trying to piece together
it's
what
still
exactly
open?
happened. Yes, technically.
Wow. Okay.
Some people think that they've proven what happened, but I listened to it. I'm like, yeah, it's not as fun. But when they came across the site, so know this, they're hiking in the dead of winter too. So like the temperatures dropped to like negative 30 degrees where they're at. When they came to the site, the tent had been cut open from the inside out. And within the tent, everything was neatly placed. They even had food that they were about to eat, but it was just left. They went out and they're like, where are these people? They followed these foot tracks, and then they saw one dude on the ground. I'm going to try to get this right just from remembering. One dude on the ground who had 3rd-degree burn marks on his legs, was like missing half of his sweater, and another dude that was up in a tree who had bitten off part of his hand that was also slightly undressed as well.
In the tree dead?
Yeah. What? So that was 2 of them. And then they couldn't find the other group until like spring came to where the snow started to melt. But they found them by like a cave that had like a river in it. And some of them were completely undressed. And 2 of them, when they tested them, they had sparks of radiation on them.
Yeah, I have heard this story.
You have?
What?
And so there's just all kinds of theories. And like they were like super far away from their campsite, or actually not that far away from their campsite, but like they all died of hypothermia, basically. But the conditions of what they were left in, it's like, what the heck happened to them?
Dude.
I think I've heard this too. Wasn't there like a couple people whose faces were all like ripped up?
No, yeah. And then there's 2 people that were found not by the tree, but down by the cave system or whatever. One of the people had both their eyes missing.
Oh.
And then one of the girls, I believe, had her tongue missing.
What in the world was this? What did they say?
There's a lot of theories. One of the theories that was really creepy was there was like one of the last pictures that they took. Mm-hmm. Like in the back, you can see on the tree line, there's this man-like figure that almost looks like a Bigfoot. Just like kind of like peering out of the trees like this.
Stop, Joshua.
I'm just saying what they saw.
Dude, can I tell my Bigfoot theory?
Yeah, let me do this real quick though. So, and then my favorite theory, which is a crazy one, was supposedly the same night, because they were able to date back to the time that they died, the night that they died. Locals that were close to where they were camping, like in the Siberian wilderness, reported seeing orange orbs hovering in the sky and like circling in the sky.
That's weird.
And then another camp group or campers that were camping 50 kilometers away reported the same incidents where they were calling them UFOs.
Yeah.
But these orange orbs floating in the sky. And one of their last pictures that they took, this group, was a picture of the sky with weird lights in the sky.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's okay. That was in 1959.
1959.
Tongues out, eyeballs out, radiation,
One of them bit his finger off.
and the tent wasn't like torn apart.
People
Cut open
There
with
was
a
no.
knife.
There was no.
from the inside.
Cut open
That's-
with a knife from the inside
Yeah.
going out.
People
So-
get fixated on that part because I wonder what happens to the mind when you're going through the throes of hypothermia.
Typically, you get undressed. That's actually one scenario to where it's like
Yeah,
when you start
I've
getting
heard that.
hypothermia, your body all of a sudden, like last resort, overheats, and so they get hot and take off their clothes. But some of them, it was like a sleeve was cut off, but one of those dead people that were by the cave system was wearing that sleeve.
So it was like somebody was
weird.
trying to dress him.
Yeah, or
Like
it's like
if
that, or they,
Bigfoot was saw-
or they like died, and then they're freezing, so they cut off articles of clothing to wear for themselves.
yeah. And maybe like the people that were missing extremities or something like that, maybe they were starting to lose their minds from the cold. They're
Oh.
they're like, it's like they think it's burning.
Yeah.
And they,
Well, another thing was too that I forgot to mention. One of the people that by the cave system, their head was completely crushed in,
Oh.
but not by a blunt object.
What?
So
What does that even mean? How do they know that?
Literally
imploded.
smushed.
Yeah.
What in the
And
world?
so one guy, this is what I saw from the Y-Files because I watched a bunch of videos about this. But the Y-Files, this one guy, the weirdest thing ever, he watched the movie Frozen,
okay.
right? And he saw the way, like this one scene where the ice fell a certain way. He's like, that's interesting. And so he got with like the animators of Disney or something and like went out to the site. This was like 2015 or something. Went out to the site and like mapped out the elevation of the mountain, the snowfall during that time. And there's this, it's an avalanche, but it's called something. It's like a very shallow avalanche, but it's like if there's powdered snow, a thick layer of ice that had melted and like then froze again, then powdered snow on top of it, it can create almost like a sheet to where it just slides like that. So it wouldn't have the effects of an avalanche, but it would just go like you
like
could say,
on top of a roof.
yeah,
like
or
just
like
like
it could hit,
sliding
or it
off.
could like hit the tent or something
Yeah.
like that, and they could have gotten pinned in there or whatever. But he said with that force, there was enough force from that. Even if it slid 4 feet, it could completely crush your skull.
Because it's so dense.
Yeah.
It's so
but
heavy.
how did she end up way far away?
Yeah. How did he end up in a tree?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I guess he could climb, but like hypothermia sounds like the best thing. Like they're just like madness. Like they just went fully crazy. But all
Yeah.
of them at the same time with radiation,
yeah.
that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
The radiation's the weird part.
Yeah.
What's the
They're-
photo?
They're
Like, have you seen it? Like,
of the orb thing?
or no? The
Of the man?
The man.
Yeah, look it up. You can look
Oh,
it
I
up.
don't want to see it.
But
What's the name of the event?
the Dyatlov, it's Dyatlov Pass.
Man.
But one of the explanations that they used for the radiation was like one or two of those guys worked at a nuclear facility like in the off season or something. But I don't know. That was just like that's a pretty far connection or whatever. But people were starting to like dive deeper and deeper into it. And yeah,
That's sketchy.
yeah.
No, thank you.
So that's one in one of their pictures.
If they're interdimensional, Bigfoots, right?
Yeah.
Do they carry radiation?
It's possible. I mean, well, no, a lot of people that have these UFO encounters, like, or they'll see the light, like an orb or something.
Yeah.
They get radiation burns on them.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Freaking radiation.
It's wild stuff.
That's so scary, you guys.
But like, I want to talk about Bigfoot.
Well, this is the
You're fine.
wrapping
You're
it up
fine.
thing. That was a for fun picture.
Oh,
Yeah. They're just goofing off. Bunch of goofy goobers. The Soviet Union, as the investigation started going further and further in, like it was like a year to 3 years in, this UFO thing started coming out, like these orbs and stuff. And they put the kibosh on everything. They said,
Shut it down.
you're not allowed to research this any longer. In fact, this site where they camped, restricted. You can't go there anymore.
Dude. Come
Yeah.
on.
yeah.
We
of
need
course.
answers. We need answers. Get to the bottom of it. Investigate until we have an actual solution. Like, I mean, not a solution, but just
Just an answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to blow my nose.
Okay.
3, 2.
Mm.